Hey, great Friday evening. It is a different type of day in the city of Brownsville. Actually, the weather is getting kind of Texasy. And I mean by Texasy, it's like it's just you don't know what to expect. So it did get cloudy-ish, and we're expecting a lot of rain this weekend. So bring out the canoes. Marco, buenas noches. Carlos Esquivel, buenas noches. Quinina, good morning. Good morning. Good evening. Elvira, buenas noches. Alicia, buenas noches. Hello. Joe, good evening. Saucio family, I missed you this morning or last night. I don't think I saw you last night. Sal, what's up, my man? How's it going? Pedro, Rosario, hey, Bertha, Lily, hola, otra vez. And we love watching you guys. Love watching you too, mi amor. Good to see you. Buenas noches, Juanita. Dios te bendiga, Dios te cuide. Qué bueno que estás con nosotros esta noche. And tonight we have Erika back with us, and it's always a pleasure to have Erika back. I was trying to massacre the last name, but I didn't want to do that.
So
Because I did that. I think I sort of did a horrible job last time, so I didn't want to. It's Soveranes. Soveranes?
Mhm.
Erika Soveranes.
Yes, sir.
Should be an easy name, but I think I didn't do too well last time. Jessica, Erika. I
That's funny that you called me Jessica. One of my best friends always used to accidentally call me Jessica, and like it's a running like joke nowadays. And she still calls me "Hola Jessica" every time she sees me.
I think. Well, it's coincidence. I think I was watching James and Jessica Wittenberg's name, so it just popped in my head. It's good to have you back with us, Erika, not Jessica.
Yes, thank you for having me again. It's been how many weeks now? At least 3 since the last time I was on.
I think it was like 4 to 5 weeks.
Has it been 4 to 5 weeks? It's
It's been
been
a while.
a lot has happened in that time.
We'll go into that in a bit. Frankie, buenas noches.
Good evening, Erica. Hello, Erasmo. Good evening, world. It's been an eventful Friday for myself. We are expecting some rain for this weekend and for possibly next. Hannah seems to be coming on pretty strong. It should be making landfall tomorrow in Kingsville, if I'm not mistaken. We're still tracking it, see how that goes. So, looking forward to the rain, much needed rain. Brownsville is a fishbowl, unfortunately. So, hopefully we don't get some flooding, but that's where we're going. All in all, it's been a good day. Excited to have Eric on again. Just it's always good to catch up with friends. Just to see how they're doing on their end. So very excited to be here at Osmo. Thank you.
Thank you. And numbers are in for Cameron County. We did have 324 positives for Cameron County, and 188 of those are for Brownsville. 188. And again, Mayor Mendez was spot on when he let us know that we were going to get a couple of weeks of triple-digit numbers, and spot on as spot on. We do have 16 deaths to report, and again, it's very, very unfortunate. I still don't believe that the county is up to date in regards to the numbers. So it's uh, it's what it is. Um, Numbers have not gone down, and a lot of individuals started to say, I think, like last week, that it looks like the numbers might be going down. I don't see the numbers going down, and it's kind of hard to measure numbers when you're not actually getting accurate numbers. And again, I'm going to stress our numbers are not what they seem. Our numbers are a lot worse than what is being reported by the county, 100%. And again, all you have to do, and again, like today, I got some flack, but I always get flack from some guy. I think he works for the firefighters or something, going out there. Well, you're just putting out information, and it's all negative. It's all bad. Blah, 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 blah. And again, guys, look, I sometimes get tired of reading those comments. Go to the happy-go-lucky pages. Go to the everything's hunky dory. Go to the hey, everything's peachy keen. pages. This is not a Peachy Keen page. This is not a Peachy Keen page. It's not like everything's wonderful. It's not. Here we put out facts. We put out information that is sent in, and we let you decide what's going on, and we let you be the judge, and you make a determination. Erika, what do the numbers tell us?
That several things that people I don't think are taking this seriously still. That Linda Underwood's my mom. Hi, Mom. I don't think people are taking this seriously. And I think that there are a lot of people who may be walking around that don't even realize that they have it, and they're going about their lives normally, and they could be infecting a lot of other people without even realizing. I've heard so many stories of people who have tested positive for the virus, and they're the only ones who are positive in their households, which is like good for the family, but you don't know who has it, who's near you and who doesn't. And you don't know how it's going to affect you. You don't know how it's going to affect those around you. I just think it's almost like a slap in the face to us who have had it, to see people not taking it seriously, because people are dying and people are really sick. And even those who aren't dying, I heard I saw a comment on Facebook from somebody that said, yeah, but the death rate is only like 2%. And I'm like, oh, so you're okay with people dying then? Yeah. Is what that comment means to me, that you're okay with people dying as long as it's a small number. Like, no, even though I have COVID, for those who weren't able to catch the last show that I was on, I am on day 42 of COVID. I still have not gotten a negative test. My tests have still come out positive. So as long as I'm still positive, I'm still fighting the virus inside. I haven't even started recovery yet, which doctors tell me can take up to 3 months to recover. For those who hadn't seen the last show, the last symptoms that I had experienced were really high fever, spine pain. I lost my sense of smell, fatigue, heart palpitations, heart racing. And that was still pretty severe at the time. But right now, 2 weeks ago? July 10th, I believe it was. I almost had to go to the emergency room. I didn't, but I started to have some very severe neurological symptoms. I started to slur my speech. I couldn't find my words. My thought process was extremely, extremely slow compared to what it usually is. I couldn't swallow. My face had swollen up again. I had this really bad pain in my eyes. My eyes were moving without me moving them. And it was extremely scary. Since then, I've been on 24/7 FaceTime with my mom and with friends to make sure that they could watch me, because for a few days, a good 3 to 4 days, maybe even longer, maybe 5 days, I was afraid to go to sleep because I wasn't sure what was going on with my head. And I've spoken to a doctor, and they said that it could be a few things. It could be I've had a lot of inflammation in my body, so it could be also inflammation in my brain. It could also be what's called a thromboembolism, which is a blood clot related stroke. I can't find out yet until I test negative. I can't go get an MRI from anywhere. I can't have cardiology workups. Like, just walking down the stairs to my car makes my heart rate jump to 156 beats a minute, which is like you're doing hardcore cardio. Even just sitting there at night, I'll wake up and my pulse is like 110, and then it drops during the night to 49. So I have a lot of severe cardiology issues or cardiac issues and neurological issues that are happening because of whatever's going on with this virus. I still get very confused sometimes. I'll lose my words and I'll start to slur my speech a little bit still when I get really, really tired. So I really want people to know what's going on, because even though I may be surviving this, it's still really bad. It's still really, really bad. And I have a lot of people who are coming to me now because they think they might have it, and then they get tested and they do have it, and their symptoms go away really quickly. And it makes me so happy that they don't have to go through this, you know. But that's the thing, you don't know how it's going to affect you. Nobody knows how it's going to affect them. I didn't think that when I got it, it would be affecting me this bad. Here I am, day 42, and I'm still not negative.
Well, let me tell you, Erika, one of the things, you know, I've had, you know, a check on my heart where they accelerate your heart. And, you know, what they wanted me to do was get on a treadmill and, you know, run. And they said, well, and back then I was a little bit heavier. They said, you're probably too fat to do that. And so they said, we're going to put you down and we're going to inject you with this medication that's going to make your heart race. Let me tell you, it is probably the most horrible thing I've ever experienced in my life. It's just horrible. So I can't, even then, I still can't begin to imagine what you've gone through. Again, one of the things that we started off with, you know, there's still a lot of individuals out there that, you know, you know, want to live in denial. You know, it's the flu. You mentioned the 0.02 that was mentioned by Betsy DeVos in regards to us losing our students out there. And, you know, that's still 15,000 students if you take into account every single student in the United States. And again, that's one student too many, you know, one student too many. And, you know, one of the reasons why I think, you know, we do our best to try and bring individuals here like Dr. Teresa Saavedra, Dr. Ed Hernandez, Dr. Amadi, you know, is we want people to know this is very, very serious, you know, and has a lot of repercussions out there. You don't have to be negative on a PCR test. That is a post-viral syndrome that sometimes makes months to improve from. Thank you, Dr. Saavedra. We're just mentioning you.
Yeah. And I've heard that too, but there's a lot of doctors who won't accept a patient who's still testing positive. It's not necessarily like the post-viral syndrome. It's the doctor's willingness to, you know, bring you in for an MRI or for any cardiac test. I'm hoping to get blood work done too, because there was one point between steroids and antiviral medication, Tylenol, aspirin, vitamins. I took 15 pills in one day. So I know that there's got to be other things happening in my body. If this virus is attacking my heart and my brain the way that it is, it's got to be attacking other things too. The last time that I was on, I was having a really hard time speaking because my airways were really thick and my throat was really thick and swollen. And my face today is a lot more swollen than it was last time because of a lot of the steroids that I've been on, water retention, inflammation, a lot of this other stuff. Like it's just a constant.
Good. Dr. Saavedra, Erika, Dr. Saavedra is willing to, she is one of our doctors, and she says she will take a patient.
That would be perfect. Yeah, I'm willing to do anything because it's been really scary. It's been very, very scary. I've had a couple of emotional sort of breakdowns with my mom over the phone because she's 1,000 miles away. And then I've been alone in my apartment for 42 days. And to be going through something neurological, like alone in your apartment, is very scary. I really do think I should have gone to the hospital that day, but I know that the hospitals are overworked, and I truly thought that I was going to get turned away.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, and again, one of the things that is very prevalent out there is, you know, doctors have come out and shared that, you know, our hospitals are, you know, are to the max. They are full, and you know, it's very hard. One of the things that I heard, and I haven't been able to confirm, is, you know, that our hospitals are at that point, which we knew was going to happen, that they're having to turn people away because there is no space. You know, there aren't any ICU rooms. You know, there aren't any. So I mean, I actually haven't confirmed that. It's one of the things that I'm hoping to be able to speak with some of our local doctors and some of our hospital personnel. But again, it's very, very real. You know, it's very, very real. You know, we lost a loved one, a family member last night. You know, just last night we lost a family member. You know, the wife of Guadalupe Gutierrez, my cousin, my first cousin, and you know, she left behind her husband. She left behind two children and grandchildren. So it's you know, it's very frustrating, you know, for us that have had losses in our family, It's very. I can imagine it's very frustrating for you to hear all this rhetoric going back and forth in regards to it's just a hoax. It's like the flu. It's really desgastante, and it gets to the point where you just don't want to even listen to these people anymore because until it happens to them, Erica, it seems only then will they realize that it's not a hoax. It's not a joke. It's not something that is going to disappear after November the 3rd elections.
Well, and see, that's something that I've struggled with because I'm not the kind of person that just kind of sits back and like, well, okay, let it happen to you and then you'll understand. Like, no, I want to avoid it happening to you. I want to avoid it happening to your family or to whoever. That's why I want to be as vocal as I can about what I'm going through. I know that there's some people who don't want to be vocal because they're either embarrassed or they're scared of whatever reaction that they're going to get back. But I'm not, I want people to know what this is because the more that they understand it, maybe the more precautions they'll take.
One of the things that I think is we've been saying every single day, and I've been saying it in the morning and we've been saying it in the evening, is, a lot of our individuals out there aren't able to go do their shopping. They aren't out there being able to go pick up their meds. And that's where we as a community have to, come into play. And I think, Erica, one of the things that we're very fortunate is that we live in this time and era where our technology is so advanced that you could FaceTime with your mom every day.
It's been a blessing. It really has. I give credit to my mom especially, and honestly to a lot of my friends. Like the second they heard that I was sick anyways with COVID, they were bringing me stuff, any vitamin supplements to take. They were bringing me food. My best friend was bringing me snacks and things that she thought would help me like feel good, like coloring books. And when I got really sick with the neurological stuff, they like even jumped on it even more. A friend of mine made me the best chicken soup ever. It had everything from like the chicken to the molleja to the heart to the liver, like all of that stuff in it that was so good. And I just like, I don't know if it's something that my body needed, but it just like devoured it, maybe because of the iron or whatever it was that was in it. And then it's also been hard too because Tuesday was actually my birthday. So I spent my birthday here. Thank you. And I was very scared to like have a birthday in isolation. But between my mom and my friends, I had flowers delivered, a homemade cake, cake with my name on it, food. Hi, Ms. Aguilar. So I am incredibly grateful for this because I couldn't imagine having to go through this alone. I've never felt alone, even though I am alone. So support from people is what really is important.
Well, I know my Lopez people out there. Look, I know, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
You know one thing, that I know my Lopez people because, I was out at that school regularly. I know my Lopez people and I know the administration there and I know my teachers there and my staff there. And I know without you even mentioning that they've been there. They've taken care of you. They've worried about you. I know that they're praying about you regularly, but I know that they've been there. And that's important, to have that close-knit family at the workplace.
Yeah, well, and my Michelle Golding, the teacher at Lopez also, she called me and she was so excited. She's like, I just want to make you smile. So I'm going to play you ukulele and sing and try to do it at the same time because it's going to be really bad and it's going to make you smile. And she serenaded me. I'm a mariachi originally, so it was really nice to be serenaded by somebody else and not actually doing
my brother recently got into playing the ukulele. So Carlos Gordo, shout out my brother. How's it going? You previously mentioned how for 42 days you've been isolated. You are the mariachi director for Lopez Early College. Has music been an outlet for you during these difficult times? Have you tried to focus on music or listen to music to try and relax during these 42 days?
Actually, surprisingly, music has been something that's kind of been making me sad because I can't do it. I'm a flute player. I can't breathe well enough. And then 2, I don't want to infect my wind instrument either. So I can't play flute. I don't have the ability to sing right now because everything is so swollen. My lungs are like really messed up. I have my violin, but because of the headaches that I've been experiencing, the sound already like is a lot in the ear from the violin. It resonates back into this ear. Like my hearing in this ear is already slightly less than the hearing in this ear because of violin. I know that if I were to play, it's going to make the headaches worse. So I haven't been able to play music at all. And it's like, it's really killing me. I'll listen to some when I can, but even I can't do a lot of the things that I really even like to do. I'm an avid reader. I read anywhere from 15 to 20 books a year if I can. I try to get at least one in a month. And one of the things that scared me the most when the neurological symptoms started happening is I picked up a book and I couldn't read anything. I was stumbling over my words. I couldn't read what that word was. So I wasn't able to read. I've just been sitting here like trying to get up and do stuff around my house, but then my heart rate goes up to 150. I try to watch movies. I can't really play music at the moment. It's been rough. And one of the things that I've actually been doing to pass the time is finding ways that I'm going to teach my students when we go back, because I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to play music again, whether it's online with my students or however. Like that's something that I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. Well, and Manny is asking, do you know how you contracted COVID-19?
I thought I did. There was one day when I went out to a restaurant and bar on a Monday night without a mask, because it was around the time when things were still opening up at the beginning of June.
Right.
That was a Monday night, and by Friday I was sick. But I had heart palpitations since the week before, and I had been going to like the day and night clinics. They even put me on a Holter monitor to try to find out what it was. And since that had happened the week before, it turns out that these heart palpitations are a symptom of the virus, these heart palpitations that I was having. So I thought it was that day, but if not, I have no idea, because I was trying to be as safe as I could. The only places I was going was HEB. I was still wearing a mask. So I actually have no idea.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned was, distant learning coming back, and our students, back into teaching. Have you been contacted by upper administration, in regards to how you're doing with COVID-19 and your struggles through, and outside of the secondary?
No, from upper administration, no. I've had people here and there message me, ask if I'm all right, but nothing from upper administration other than the one message that I got saying that I wasn't allowed on BISD property. But other than that, I haven't received anything.
Well, one of the things that I'm very, very concerned with, I think that you follow social media. We have lost people at BISD. We have lost people at BISD. We've lost, as of recent, we lost a custodian out at Stillman Middle School. And, there's a lot of other individuals out there that, have fallen a victim to COVID-19 in some way, shape, or form or other. And, it's very, very disheartening not to, hear any word from our upper administration in regards to the individuals that have passed away or are individuals that have, fallen victim to them. One of the things that we have to understand is that, Erika, we don't know. We really don't know what the tomorrow is going to bring. I shared, I don't know if you know that one of our friends, my friends, personal friends, Joe Valdez, a coach out here at Porter High School, an amazing individual, very loved, coached at Veterans, and I think he also had some work to do out there at Rivera. But either way, he was out at Porter, and he was in ICU for days, and he suffered a lot of things that you mentioned in regards to the swollen throat and couldn't speak. He actually FaceTimed me from the ICU room, and let me tell you, he sounded horrible. He sounded terrible, terrible, terrible. And fortunately, he's getting better. He's regaining his speech. He's being able to speak a little bit clearer now. He was moved over to Houston to finalize his treatment process. But he hadn't heard from upper administration either. Nothing, not a word, not, we're here for you. We care. And again, we're very fortunate that we have these sub-districts at our school. we have our sub districts, and by that I mean we have our campuses. And I know my Lopez Lobos people. I know my Lopez Lobos, and let me tell you, is that I love Michelle, I love Miss Aguilar, I love everyone out there that has been out there for you. I'm very, very proud, and I do not expect anything less from them. I don't expect anything less. But let's go back into the music, Erica. What is your take in regards to actually going back face to face at this point? Uh, is it something that should happen at our schools, or should we wait?
At this point, I really think we should wait. Our numbers are getting higher. They're not even plateauing at any point. They're just rising. And if they're allowing restaurants 25% capacity or no more than 10 people like gathered at a time, there's more than 10 students in a class. Like, that's just kind of a little bit of common sense there. Like, you can't have just 10 students in a class. Our classes are full. And even then, 10 students at 6 to 8 feet apart. I think it's 8 feet apart now, isn't it?
Yes.
That doesn't work in a classroom. I saw something online that a friend had posted that I think might be, I kind of agree with. They're saying a lot of our students are going to fall behind. And it said, to what standards? These standards that we set for them for a world that was before a pandemic.
Exactly.
Everything's changed now. But it's our job as teachers to teach them differently now, and maybe different things that they need to survive with now.
Well, and it's always happened every time there's been a major catastrophe. There's had to been some changes or modifications because of the situation. Now, with that said, I believe that some school districts, they should go back face to face. But we're talking about some areas of the country where the virus has not hit at all. There's those places, and it's understandable. But what fits for them is not necessarily what fits for Brownsville, Texas, because we have to take into consideration the science, the fact that everything is out there, and guide our decision-making process based on the facts, on the numbers, on the medical professionals, and on the scientists, not on politicians. Never on politicians, because politicians, at the end of the day, they only care about us when they're out there seeking or asking for our vote. That is the only time that they care, because they get onto power, they get into the seat, and then they tend to forget, and they make decisions based on their own assumptions or their own political agenda. And that's just wrong. Good evening. Is it me, or is the virus symptoms are becoming worse? I truly believe that because of the mutation going on, and again, it being a novel virus, we just don't know. But I would dare say that things are getting worse, Erica.
Yeah. I read on a article somewhere that there are so many different mutations of this now. It's getting into the double digits of how many different mutations. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but I remember. Eric Fabian, he's my student. So I know that there's a lot of different mutations, and it's only getting worse. Like, I know a lot of people who have never experienced what I've experienced in COVID, and that there are other symptoms from other people that I've never experienced. Like, I've never had to be on a ventilator because my breathing never got that bad, but I've had a lot of the inflammation. And I think people need to be kinder to other people sometimes, especially online. I feel like there's a lot of people who are just spewing out that it's a hoax. People are just like looking to, I don't know, sometimes maybe fight with others online. And I just want people to know that this is real. It's bad. And I think that, I don't know, I'm sorry, I lost my, that happens sometimes. I lose my train of thought. But I just think that people need to realize that it gets really bad. And what I was going to say, that's what it was. Just because I didn't end up hospitalized or on a ventilator doesn't mean that it's not serious, or that I won't be living with some lasting issues. Who knows how many appointments or issues I'm going to have going forward in the future. And that's what I'm just trying to get people to understand. And avoid so that they can be smart about things and just protect yourselves and protect your family.
Erika, you previously mentioned how we have to adapt, especially during these uncertain times. What challenges do you see with your instruction with the students going forward using technology? Is it something that is going to be a lot harder compared to face-to-face instruction? And what can be done about that?
I honestly don't know if it'll necessarily be harder, because in face-to-face instruction has its own difficulties that we're not going to deal with online, but online is going to have its own set of difficulties. The way I'm looking at it is that I don't have enough instruments for all my students. So I know that my beginners who are coming in, and maybe even some of my intermediate, because they're not going to get the instruments, I'm going to take a new approach to the way that I teach them, because I'm going to teach them a lot like music theory, but I want to make it fun for them so that they're engaged. So I want to do like music theory games. I want to do some music history stuff. I also want to open, because I am an ethnomusicologist, that's what my master's is in. I study world music, and I've done a lot of writing on world music. I want to maybe take this time that we're online, because maybe even if we're not online the whole year, the rest of the year can be focused on instrumental learning and mariachi basics with the instrument. But for right now, I don't see any issue with showing them maybe music of Europe or music of Mexico and Africa that aren't necessarily mariachi music in Mexico. I want to get them singing, which is a big part of mariachi, which you can do online also. There's apps for the phones, or if they end up getting tablets or whatever happens, that you can download that are pianos, and they're free. So you could teach them like intervals and a lot of stuff like that through piano applications. There's a good site for anybody who's looking called teacherspayteachers.com. And you can actually go in there, and it's stuff that other teachers have come up with and written and exercises and flashcards and worksheets. And you buy it from them, sort of like an Etsy, but for teachers, that they can go in and find so many different resources for. And a lot of online instruction stuff is coming.
Well, you mentioned something that, again, really upsets me. Really, really, really upsets me. And that is the lack of instruments that are provided at our schools. And the reason that upsets me, Erika, is because this administration with this corrupt board, they took away $25,000 from each of our high schools in regards to instrument money. And I am so irate. And they took away $18,000 from our middle schools, all our middle schools, in regards to their instrument budget. And I'm so very irate about it, to the point where I really want to scream about it. Because if there's one thing that we all know, normal folk know, is that music appreciation, the fine arts, are essential in the development, the formation of individuals that are free thinkers, that achieve great things. It is important. It is necessary. And at Lopez, music is what makes that school, fine arts is what makes that school shine, stand out, to the point where Lopez has been nationally recognized. Its band director, its programs, nationally recognized. And that's considering that we service out at Lopez, Erika, some of the lowest income individuals in the state of Texas, if not the country. Lowest income individuals, beautiful people. And, again, and not to toot Lopez's horn, but Lopez is one of the top scholarship providers for our students. One of our top scholarship providers for our students is Lopez High School. And, it's appreciated because our teachers, they give back to our students.
Yeah.
In so many ways. In so many ways. And Eric Fabian, nephew of Audie, says hi.
Tell him I say hi, and hi to his aunt also. I really miss my students. Like, Eric is a sweetheart. That trumpet player is a sweetheart. He's in band as well also. A lot of my students were really looking forward to, we had a trip planned to Disneyland. They had been accepted to perform at Disneyland at the end of last year. And we were so bummed when everything got canceled at the end of the last year, but he was one of the students who was going to go with us on that trip. And I know that Lopez in total, the teachers, the faculty, it's a giant community at Lopez. Everybody knows each other. Everybody says hi to each other. And I know that everybody has the kids' best interest at heart. And even with the lack of instruments, I've never seen more motivated kids. And I've seen, not worked in, but I've seen some very privileged districts, not just here in the Valley, but in other places, that they have everything that they need, and the students are still not motivated. So the motivation is intrinsic in these students, and I think it's because of the economic situation and their current situation that they're in. It makes them value what they have and what they're working towards.
100%. Again, going back into the instructional part of it, we are going to do distant learning. So again, one of the things that we've been screaming for is, to get a little bit of verification in regards to what that's going to look like. As of right now, we've received no plan whatsoever in regards to different situations that can occur in regards to even distant learning. Again, one of the things I think that I'm most concerned with is our special education students. How are we going to service our special education students? And I think one of the amazing things about our fine arts program, it is so inclusive of our special needs students, because they are a part of it 100%. I've seen our special needs students in dance recitals. I've seen our special ed students out at plays, at functions. How important are our special ed students for our schools, Erika?
They're incredibly important, incredibly. And the teachers and the faculty who work with them on a daily basis are extremely important. Like, they are some of the most hardworking people in the districts. I know in my 7th period class, when we were still in school, we would have a couple of special education students in there, and the music made them so happy. And like, they were, a lot of my students would like say hi to them every morning when they walked in, and they would be interacting with us and like almost singing with us sometimes. Like, it was a giant community that like everybody was a part of, that nobody was ever excluded from. And I think that's what made Mariachi, and I think that's what makes fine arts programs so special. It's the same thing as sports and athletics. You build a community where you guys are working together for a common goal. You're working towards something greater than yourself. And that sense of working towards something that's greater than yourself really brings everybody together. Any kind of student, you can be anybody to appreciate music.
Well, one of the things in regards to working out there, in regards to starting off the year, I'm very, very glad that we have opted and decided to move the year, the time frame to August 25th to give us a little bit of more time. But again, there should have been a plan in play months ago, and it's very, very concerning. One of the things that we have learned is that there will be a special called board meeting on Monday at 10 o'clock, and we'll be following that as we go along. There is nothing on there decisive in regards to what we're going to be doing. But again, we've got to just start to do something. Saludos a la Lopez de parte de la Rivera.
Saludos. That's actually one thing I've been wanting to do, is speak at the board meeting, but I don't know how. I don't know how you are able, like how somebody is able to call in and speak at the board meeting, because I would actually like the board to hear my story and what I've been going through. Because we have to watch out, not just for the kids, but for the teachers too. The teachers are just as important. And while we would do anything for our students, we sacrifice late nights. I know every teacher, no matter fine arts or not, has put their own money into their classroom and their own money into their programs. There's nothing we wouldn't do for our students. But I feel like, in a way, asking us to go back when it's not safe is almost asking us to like risk our lives for our students. Like, where is the line? Like, I don't want to risk my life or the lives of my students either way.
And they don't want that either. They don't want that either. Mm-hmm. And again, one of the things that's very important, Erika, is that you're at home right now by yourself. but there's a lot of our teachers out there that have little children at home. They are worried. They're concerned. There's a lot of pregnant teachers that I've spoken to just this week. They're concerned. A lot of husbands of pregnant teachers that are concerned. You know, we've lost too many people at BISD already. We have lost too many people at BISD already, and that is taken into consideration, Erica, that we've had a small number of individuals go onto campus, and with a small number of individuals onto campus, we've already lost individuals, and just losing one is one too many. We've lost several. We have a lot of our custodians right now that are falling prey, falling ill. A lot of our maintenance people, some custodians are in ICU right as we speak right now, fighting for their life.
And they are some of the foundational things that make our campuses run. You know, like it's all clockwork. It all needs, every single piece needs to work to fit together in order for the clock to run, in order for the school to run. So if one part falls off, if one part breaks, whether it be custodians fall apart because they're getting sick, or teachers or students, if anyone starts to crack, the whole thing is going to crumble. And I've been trying to understand where a lot of different viewpoints of where people are coming from, like who do want to send kids back to school. And I understand that there's a lot of things that we need to take into consideration too, you know, like maybe dangerous home lives for some of the students, or, oh no.
Well, Erica, I just received word from AOBE, and if you would please contact them. They will have you virtually speak at the meeting.
Okay.
So please reach out to them. You know, they have reserved some slots already. And again, you know what? And I'm sorry, you know, because people say, "Oh, Erasmo, it's very frustrating for me, Erica. I'm very, very upset, and I know that you've heard me be very, very upset. I'm actually disgusted that no one from main office, no top people up there, you know, have even bothered to call, send an email, send some words of encouragement. I'm disgusted, and I'm sorry to say that now, but I am disgusted. I'm disgusted that they haven't reached out to have you speak at the meetings, because again, you're one of our teachers. And let me tell you, one of my biggest concerns, Erica, is they've made decisions. They've had emergency meetings. They've had special meetings more than I've ever seen before. And you know, as of right now, Erica, they have not had one single medical professional out there. Not a doctor, not someone that has gone to it. They have not had the lead of the director of their health department out there speaking and letting the board members know, informing the board members out in public of how serious this is. Not one medical professional. And for me, it's very irate and very frustrating to the point that it really, really pisses me off.
Yeah, I think everybody's voice needs to be heard. We need to hear from people who have battled this. We need to hear from people who are upset. We need to hear from, like you said, medical professionals, you know. That's one of my biggest things, just even throughout my life, but especially now that I'm battling with this and everything that's going on right now in our county, in our country right now. I just want to understand people and where they're coming from and why they're feeling the way that they do. And I just think that's something that other people should be doing too. Maybe the board should try to be more understanding of what we're going through, what we're asking. I know I can say with almost like 99% surety that every teacher has spent their summer trying to plan, like what they're going to do going back. And I feel like healthcare professionals are trying to plan. We're trying to plan. Everybody needs some sort of a plan. If not, it's just kind of chaos, you know? And I just feel like we need some sort of a plan. I think there was a comment on the bottom too that said that we have no idea what the plan is.
No.
And I understand that I am a teacher and there's a lot of teachers in BISD. So I'm not necessarily offended by the fact that they haven't contacted me personally, because I know it's a job and I know that they have certain things that they have to do. Do I think that there's things that they could possibly do better? Of course.
I'll be pissed off for both of us.
Okay, I'll leave it to you.
I'll be pissed off for both of us because I'm sorry, it's disgusting. It's disgusting because it is not the type of people that we have here in the city of Brownsville. Because let me tell you, Miss Aguilar and my Lopez people, they'll vouch for what I'm saying. We are a close knit community here. That is what we're used to. We're used to unity. We're used to where we care about each other. And I made mention about this, I think yesterday, about Dr. Sendejas. Dr. Sendejas was a color of a different breed, a horse of a different breed. Dr. Sendejas would send personal little note cards with her handwriting, and we don't have that anymore. And I think it's a culture shock for a lot of the individuals here in the community. And again, our board has been so disassociated from what's going on that they haven't, even thought about sending best wishes, get better, we're here for you. And the difference is that, and again, a lot of people may say whatever they want to say. I mean, this isn't new for us here. It's something that we've been doing for years. We've been trying to unite community to help individuals find lost pets, help individuals that have lost their house because of a fire, different things. First place, La Estudiantina competition, class of 2017.
I remember him, yes, because when I first started at Lopez, the program was new. They had hired me to start it. So the first semester, I was actually helping out band, estudiantina, guitar. I was like put in different areas, choir also. I don't necessarily know how much help I was in any of these classes, but I got to know a lot of the fine arts students and a lot of the fine arts faculty because of that semester that I had while I was planning to help them. And so I do remember estudiantina.
Erika, can you expand more on the impact that this program has had on your students? And also, I know this isn't the right time, but maybe in the future, would you advocate for the mariachi program to be implemented at the middle school?
Oh, of course. I would, if we had the resources, I'd want to implement that now. I mean, I think I've even tried to brainstorm a way where I could maybe do middle school in the morning and like high school at night, or it would be a lot to take on. But I think that would be more beneficial to start middle school programs, at least for the 2 middle school that feed into Lopez, first before branching out to other high schools. I know other high schools have already started to, Mr. Cisneros. I know other high schools are already starting, but in order for some of these, since I know competition is such a big thing here in Texas, a lot of the mariachis that compete, they have middle school. I mean, they have mariachi starting in 6th grade in middle school, and then their competing groups are like junior and seniors. So I think that would be super beneficial. I would like to think that my program has made a big impact on my students. A lot of my students have picked up the music so fast. I have some students who were in band and they switched over to trumpet, and I have some choir students who are now playing violin. They've also formed a tight-knit community of friendships. There's a lot of my students who I know right now are friends that would have never really been friends before had they not been in mariachi. And I know that I like to provide a place for my students to learn. That's also going to be beneficial for them to go out and play music after school. I'm not just like there to teach them music for the concerts or for the school. I'm here to teach them stuff that'll maintain them throughout their life. Because if they go to college, gigging is a good way of making money for these students.
100%.
I have a student who's already, he plays guitar and he sings, and he's been writing a bunch of his own music, his own songs, and he goes out to downtown Brownsville and he'll just sing for hours and make tips.
I've seen him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have seen him out and about. He'll be walking with his guitar on his back.
He's amazing.
He is. He's amazing. And the songs that he writes, he's got like an abundance of knowledge in his head. And I never take credit for my students. All of the work that they do, they put in. I just merely show them how to do it. And so I think this ability for my students to take advantage of what they can do on their own is really important. Like practicing on your own. There's a lot of things that I tell my students that mariachi and music in general can connect to the rest of your life. Like a musical phrase, I always tell them relates to like a sentence. You know, a sentence has a purpose. Well, so does a musical phrase. This song is trying to relay this emotion. Like, what have you gone through in your life that can relate to this emotion? Or how can you empathize with somebody else who's gone through this emotion if you've never experienced it before? I don't just want to teach them music and mariachi. I want to teach them lifestyle, which I think is now a really good time where a lot of educators can implement that if they haven't already, you know. But now is the time to help teach our students how to be good humans. But my method, my vehicle of teaching them is through music. It may be through math for another teacher. But right now, I think the core thing that we have to teach them is how to be good humans.
Yes.
Especially now in this day and age, is how to teach them to be good humans. And I will do that through music because it's definitely possible. So I think that music programs, especially mariachi, is very beneficial.
Especially with everything that we're going through right now. It's very, very needed. Having meetings is good, but come to the decision on an issue. Bring in experts that can offer advice and guidance to make our community safe. And unfortunately, Ramon, they have brought in no one. No one. I would be honored to provide my professional recommendations to BISD. Dr. Saavedra, we need you. Our community needs you, Dr. Saavedra. And I've asked AOBE to reach out to you. And, if you could give us 3 minutes or 6 minutes on your expertise, that would be wonderful, Dr. Saavedra. And AOBE will be contacting you, Dr. Saavedra. Again, thank you. On point, Erika. Everyone needs a household or business COVID strategy. 100%. I mean, we need a plan. In everything that we do, we need a plan. That's one of the things I think the first things that we, it's one of the first things that we teach students, pathway, get a career pathway, get a plan going, set goals. This is what we want to accomplish in a certain amount of time. Unfortunately for us, they need a plan to make a plan, and we have absolutely no plan whatsoever. What is the leadership from the top? Where is the leadership from? It's disappeared, distant. I forgot my sticker. Can I pick it up tomorrow? And yes, they'll come by tomorrow. I'll be here. He has no compassion, or they, because they live in Edinburgh. It's 100%. Dr. Sendejas is an outstanding leader with loving heart. Here's the questions for you. Erika, yes, we need to understand people. I'm trying to understand how the superintendent gave himself a raise and has no shame or consideration and compassion for teachers in the district he serves. He doesn't care. Lucio Middle School has extracurricular programs already, piano, violin, and working on guitar. It's awesome. Magic programs, beautiful Mexican culture, love. Go get America. Aloha from Hawaii. Ale. Ano. Teachers are planning, but then they might just throw something last minute. Well, see, that's the other concern. Guys, we don't need, these curveballs coming our way, especially from individuals that, are getting paid so much and are doing basically so little. We do have the largest budget south of San Antonio. Let's use it. Let's use the resources that we have in order to provide a safe working environment, one full of compassion and care, not only for our students, but also for our teachers and personnel out there. We have to, guys. That is what Brownsville is all about. Brownsville is all about community, being there for each other, fighting for each other, speaking up, not taking no, and not accepting retaliation, not accepting bullying, none whatsoever. Congratulations to her and her students. The Lobo group is amazing. They should know.
I'm also like curious to know how this will impact my group also, because last year was only the third year of the program. So the first year was only half a year because I used the first semester to plan, and then we started with students. The second year, we got a full school year. This third year, we got March on cut off. And then this fourth year is going to get some cut off too. So the first 4 years of this program, there's been like thing after thing that's been coming up to with COVID and everything. Like, I want to make sure that my program is still strong enough to keep going, because if anybody's seen the kids in their program, they've seen how enthusiastic they are about their playing. They've played for, I think they've played for close to 12 different functions just from August to I think January, February, the end of February. They played at 12 different functions. Their first school year, their first full school year, which was the second year, they were already doing Santa and Friends. So these kids are willing to do it, you know, and it's fun experiences for them. I know when the Crossroads Festival was happening downtown, my students got to play for that like red carpet event that they had, and they were thrilled. They were like, "Ma'am, we're on a red carpet." They're like, "What is this?" They had never been to the Performing Arts Center either, so the Performing Arts Academy, and it's a really pretty venue.
Beautiful.
You know? So they were super excited. So I'm excited to get back to give my students experiences like that, you know, and I tell them, this is what I do in mariachi. We do stuff like this, like, and musicians get to do stuff like this, you know, so keep going with it. And I more than anyone want to get back with my students, but not yet.
No, not yet. It wouldn't, I mean, again, you know, you have to get healthy. You know, you not being at 100% is not providing 100%, and our students and our, you know, our schools, you know, they deserve 100% from everyone. Well, part of the problem, Erika, is something that you mentioned. You know, goodness gracious, folks, and we talked about this last night with AOBE. My teachers, my counselors, they haven't had a summer vacation. They have not had a summer off. They've all had to work. They've all had to stress. They've all had to prepare for something without actually knowing anything. I know of very few individuals who have actually had a summer off. They haven't. They've been working through it, and they're still struggling to find out and to prepare and to get ready for what is to come on August 25th. We just don't know.
Yeah. Well, and we have to prepare for both.
Oh, idiot.
Because I know that there's nothing that teachers fear more than being unprepared. Because being unprepared in front of a class of students, you know, is not good. And we're having to do double the duty. We have to make a plan for online and in person, and what's going to be the transition from going back and forth. Are we still going to do some, you know, there's just so many things up in the air right now. And it's stressful, but the way I am as a person is I like to think about it as an exciting new adventure. I know I'm very sick right now, so it may not seem as exciting, but I want to make sure that my students don't feel stressed. 100%. I want to make sure that they're learning, but in a way that's taking their mind off of what's going on outside, because they have plenty of time to worry about that after school, you know?
Is there a chance to let special needs students to be able to have a class like that? Yeah, they have every single opportunity out there. And that's one of the things that, you know, if Adi, if for some reason it's been lacking before, let me know, because I can almost guarantee you that with the change of this board this coming year, there's going to be a lot more programs out there, and there's going to be a lot more funds distributed and returned to our band, to our fine arts, and to all our other programs. It's money that was taken from them that should be returned, that will be returned. Exactly. Listening to music, one of the best therapies, extremely useful for these times. 100%.
Well, and especially mariachi too, because it's so deeply connected and rooted in their heritage, you know?
Where can we get a vote at Erasmo, Frankie? Zono sign. You can pick up mine at my office at 1240 East Madison, Genesis.
Hey, I know Genesis. Hi.
Mine will be ready on Monday or Tuesday, Genesis. I'll make an announcement.
I'll be here. I'll be here at my office all day tomorrow. You can pick up mine for sure on Monday, and I think Carlos is going to bring some here as well. So we'll see what happens. How does BISD play into the county judge's new orders issued today? Well, let me explain a little bit about the orders today. Again, they were a little bit confusing because a lot of individuals were sending in questions in regards to, are we back in the shelter in place? Because it used the terminology shelter in place. And I think it was a play on words. And what I mean by a play on words, it was making emphasis in regards to the June 29th order when the curfew was instilled. So what they were emphasizing in today's order was that they were stressing was the curfew. But for some reason, it was starting to sound like a shelter in place type of curfew, which means now that you have to shelter in place from 11 p.m. to 5 p.m. if you're adult, and 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. if you're under 17. Well, that's something that we already had anyway. I mean, all he had to do, all the county had to do was say, the curfew is going to get extended. And that's it. There's no need to make all this blah, 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 shelter in place, put out the words out there, because all it did was cause a lot of confusion to a lot of individuals. And when you're not giving an explanation in regards to what's that, onta las bolsita cheese. Saca la bolsita. Erasmo equals Brad Pitt.
I see a comment here on the side that says, what would you say for a struggling student to do to allow them to deal with depression or anxiety during the pandemic through music?
Go.
She's looking tired out already. I'm tired all the time. Like it's a constant battle with this fatigue. But I think with my students, a lot of the times in a normal school year, music can actually be something that stresses them out because it becomes competition time, it becomes concert time, it becomes this. I think now is the time to teach students how to use music as therapy instead of just a competition tool or just as something to like reach for the stars. You know, there's so many other benefits. And I think now is the time when we can do that. Like show the students healthy practice habits. Like I want to show my students that they don't have to practice for 4 hours a day. Quality over quantity. You know, you can get a lot more done if you sit and focus in an hour than if you stress yourself out for 4. So that's something that I want to focus on maybe with my advanced students, you know, healthy practicing so that you don't stress yourself out. I want to know also what kind of music my students like other than mariachi, because the kind of music that the student likes says a lot about who they are as a person, especially a teenager. Music is so tightly knit in a teenager, even if they don't play music, music is so tightly knit. So one of my first assignments that I want to do is I want to have my students make Spotify playlists, you know, like what do you listen to when you're sad? What do you listen to when you're happy? What do you listen to when you work out? You know, I want to find out that sort of stuff about them so that way I can make a plan to help them like with their struggling. Because right now with the pandemic, with the social circumstances going on in our country, there's going to be a lot of, I think, emotional trauma, not just in the students, but in people in general coming out of this, you know, and I think that there's a lot of ways that we can help with music for that.
100%. Yeah. And again, guys, and I'm glad Dr. Saavedra asked that question. You know, besides Erika, you know, we have some amazing talent in our band directors, our mariachi, our fine arts. You know, Michelle, Erika mentioned Michelle. Michelle's amazing. She's amazing.
I love her.
Such a talented individual, and they're out there, guys. I know my junior high band directors. You know, I have McDaniel's out at Falk. I have Sarmiento out here in Vela. You know, I have Jason out at Falk as well. Guys, we have such amazing individuals. Mr. Garcia up at Oliveira. These individuals, guys, they're not on the job 9 months out of the year. They are out there for our students all year round, and they're willing to offer different programs, different training, different camps. You know, a lot of the work that they do out there producing music for their students is outside the realm. Xochitl up here at Pace, you know, they provide a lot of great stuff for our kids outside of it. So parents, please take advantage of, you know, the amazing jewels. Someone mentioned Erika is a jewel for our district. She is. But, you know, we have several hidden jewels here in the district. Please take advantage. And the truth is, guys, there is no greater system of education here than BISD. Not because of the top administration, but because of our amazing personnel, our teachers, our custodians, our lunch ladies, everyone out there. Frankie, can you ask if anyone is talking about the counselors that are being cut? Yes, they are. They will be addressed on Monday. I know for a fact that AOBE is very, very concerned. We have shared information in regards to a lot of the different cuts, a lot of the movements. I will say that we were successful in fighting for you know, our principals, our assistant principals for our special education students at the high school level. Very successful. And we'll continue to be successful as we continue to unite, guys. Continue to unite. Zoom karaoke. I don't know if y'all saw the mariachi one that they did up here. I think Rio Hondo or something. It wasn't Rio Hondo. Can't remember what city it was. It was beautiful. Saludos, Alex.
And I want to do a lot of virtual music like that with my students. It's hard because not all of them have the instruments, and then it's hard because there's a lot of varying levels because I don't have a middle school program. I have some students who have only been playing a year and who have played all 4 years now that it's a 4-year program, that it's going into its 4th year. I'll have finally my first set of 4-year students. So it's varying in like the levels that they're at. So I want to make videos with my students, also with my advanced kids, but it may not be the full mariachi group. It'll be like duets here or like a guitarist and a singer here. It'll be smaller things, but I still want to make the videos like that going forward for the year.
Awesome. I'm not sure about everything enjoyable that is peaceful, boosts the immune system. Sure, but everything, yes, 100%. I believe music is one of them. It can be a very valuable tool for our students. Guys, just a quick, I've been asked a couple of times in regards to the information we posted in regards to the letters being sent out today, guys. And I'll share some information. So I'm going to take a little bit of time. Guys, one of the things that I was informed today was that individuals were getting certified letters from the feds in regards to Sylvia Atkinson case. And when I did post about that, I was here at my office. And so I was trying to figure out what these letters were. So I was trying to see if anyone wanted, and see, that's the reasoning behind a lot of our posts. We try to gather information because we share information amongst ourselves. Remember like the Saturday Night Live, talk amongst yourselves. Well, we share information amongst ourselves. And again, guys, it's that, and that was one of the reasons why it was placed out there. Well, I received information throughout the day in regards to what those letters were referring to. So I will share that with you. But I did go home to try and take a nap. And guess what? Erasmo Castro received a certified letter as well. So, again, I've always said that I'm going to be transparent. And now I have no doubts what the certified letters that are going around the district were all about. And it's very simple. One of the things that we all know that the federal agents were doing here in the city of Brownsville in regards to the case against Dr. Sylvia Atkinson is the information that they had received on recordings, because her phone had been tapped for years. So what they have to do before they go to court, they have to notify every single individual out there who had their phone intercepted. And that is what this letter is. It says, Mr. Castro, in regards to a phone number for Dr. Atkinson, your phone was intercepted. And I appreciate it in getting the mail. But again, my messages were intercepted back in 2018 when I was not a member of the board. And again, guys, they can record me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have absolutely nothing to hide. But my question is, and I sent a message to Flip Floppy Phillip. I said, hey, did you get a certified letter? Did not respond. He didn't respond. And Drew didn't respond. And Laura didn't respond. And Prissy didn't respond. And Baltasar Salazar surely didn't respond. Minerva didn't respond. Because on my letter, there are 3 calls that were intercepted. Because I hardly had communication with that woman. 3 calls that were intercepted. From her to me. 3 calls. Can you imagine them? Number shut up. They got calls coming out of their butts. But again, guys, have nothing to hide. So the letters today were sent just to let people know, guys, just to let you know, it's going to come out in court. Your calls were intercepted. Your calls to you were intercepted. So that's what the letters were. So, guys, what I'm trying to say with all this is, it's coming, baby. It's coming. Justice is coming to BISD in regards to this lawsuit. It may not come before the election. It may not come in the next couple of months as harsh as we want. But I will say one thing, is that we're still waiting to see what this sealed motion is on the July the 30th. And when we get to see what's on the sealed motion for July the 30th, we're going to see what happens. And I will guess that 75%, I'm 75% sure that the reason for the sealed motion is to revoke her bond. and it's going to be a happy day for Erasmo Castro. It's going to be a happy day for the city of Brownsville. But most importantly, it's going to be a special day for BISD. So that was my letter spiel. Sorry I took the time. But people have asked, and again, I will always answer. And again, I will always respond. I will always share all the information that I have. And again, I received a certified letter. Not ashamed of it. We also have one of the most amazing choir programs. Yes!
Yes.
Travis! And other individuals. I don't know everybody's name. Oh, Jason up
Yes.
at Lopez Lobos. Travis is out at veterans, but Jason, my man, that barbershop. Oh my lord, my lord, my lord. I am in love with that barbershop.
Speaking of teachers always working, Jason Whitney, he was actually giving a presentation on barbershop at a virtual conference like a few days ago.
Yes.
Talk about somebody who's always working and incredibly dedicated is that man right there. Like he has done so much for those students and for that program. Like, yes. And there's another comment that says, there's talent all over BISD. Hannah has a group of students who won an engineering competition at NASA. There's incredible students and incredible faculty all over. I know the Hannah Band program also has a lot of like accolades under their belt. You know? Yeah, so there's a lot of talent in this district. There's a lot of drive and passion. Oh.
We love your chirpy little bird voice. Mine or Erika's? Probably mine. I second the feeling, Paulette Martinez. With all due respect, there's talent over here. Yeah, no, Mike. I mean, and again, guys, don't get me wrong. And I hate sometimes mentioning programs because what happens is that you're going to skip another one. Look, Mike, one of the first things that drew me to BISD was a gardening program at Oliveda Middle School. A gardening program, and it's true. But Mike, let me tell you something, bro. And it's hard to name all the amazing programs. But after I got involved with a gardening program at Oliveda Middle School, that's when I knew that I wanted to be a board member. That's when I knew that I wanted to be a board member because what the district has failed to do, and you don't have to comment on this, Erika, but you can if you do want to. Where the district has failed is it has not marketed the amazing talent that we have at the district to the fullest extent. They have not marketed it. They have not. Because going to the campuses was just amazed. Did you know that our kids at Hudson Elementary, the students are the ones that give out the news? The students. And they have a CNN program in the morning.
That's cool.
It's Coyote News Network. Coyote News Network, because they're the coyotes, right? And I hope they're coyotes. They better be coyotes. And the kids are the ones that give the news. They give the forecast. They give the happenings. They have everything. And they run it. They produce the music. They do everything. And I'm going like, didn't know about that. How many people out there even knew about the CNN program at not many, because the district has failed in marketing it. Because for 25 years, we had an inefficient public information officer, Drew Brown. Didn't do a damn thing to promote the district to its fullest capacity. So nobody knew. So what I started to do as a board member was to bring everything to light, everything to light, everything to light. And they felt threatened, the board, because they didn't want to get down there in the nitty gritty promoting our stuff. They are ambassadors. Board members should be ambassadors for the district, for the different programs out there, Mike. They are not. They will never be. That's why they need to go. Awesome job, Erika. Yeah. 28 hot topics for the scoreboard. Okay, the electrical integration system. Also spending TRE money. Exactly. And that's where the $25,000 for our schools went, our high schools, and $18,000 for our middle school. Just as what we started preach, bro. And Sylvia is going down. Yeah, she's going down, not down. You know what department will fall the first? BISD nurses. They will be around all of the COVID. You're 100% right. And you know what? There is no plan, Elizabeth. They don't know. My nurses don't know what's going on. Look for Hudson Coyotes. Yeah. Thank you. They don't know. And they want to know. They were given PPE. They were given hand sanitizer that was expired by 9 years. 10-year expired hand sanitizer. Amazing chess teams. Yes. Again, guys, I can't name them all. The DI, my goodness. And Louis knows I was out there in McAllen. I mean, I would go anywhere to go see my students. I went to TMEA in San Antonio. I think, Frankie, you went with me to TMEA in San Antonio.
I was there.
We were out there supporting our kids anywhere, and Erica, the district wasn't paying for our trip up there. They didn't pay for our trip. We went on our own to promote and to bring awareness to the amazing programs we have here. And my one act plays out there. My theater people are not going to let me lie. I mean, I saw the Addams Family 3 times. It was that good. The Addams Family. The Addams Family was so good. I went to it 3 times. No, I mean, they're talking about bringing back the sports. It's
a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. Not the time. Conjunto Group from Canales. Yes, these guys are amazing. Again, and Mike, I don't mean to miss out on anyone. I couldn't name every program. I couldn't. Yes, one thing that I've always admired from you is that everyone supporting the students and teachers. Yeah, you see, that's part of the that's part of the problem of mentioning some. Others will go, hey, yesterday, and there's just too many. There's so much amazing stuff happen at our district. That is why we as a district, we're an A district, an A+ district, not because of this board.
Well, and that's actually something that I'm appreciating about all these comments is that everybody's so proud of the district and the students. Everybody just wants to say, like, look, this program's also good. This program's also good. Like there's room for every program to be
to shine.
Yeah, every program will have its time to shine and to be put forward because that's what we do as a community from BISD. I also want to take this time. My computer keeps cutting out. I'm not sure why. And I am getting a little bit tired, but I just wanted to say thank you for having me on here. And just as kind of like a final closing comment, please just everyone out there be safe. Be as cautious as you can around people. Try not to be around people. Use your mask. Double up masks if you feel like it's necessary. Use hand sanitizers. And take this time to I don't know, like try to find this time as an outlet to try new things that you might like, or to reach out to people in different ways, maybe through Zoom or FaceTime. Just a reminder, I counted them down, 30 different symptoms. I've had 30 different symptoms, and all of them ranging from some flu-like symptoms, some heart palpitations, neurological issues. Half my face went numb when the neurological stuff was happening. Just because I didn't end up in the ER doesn't mean that it's not serious. And I think that's something that people need to know. I think some people are just thinking that, oh, it's only serious if you end up in the hospital. It's not only serious if you end up in the hospital. Like it'll be serious for a long time. And then plus there's not enough on this yet. We're only 6 months into this whole process. Like we don't know what's to come in long-term effects after this. We don't know yet because it's so novel, it's so new. It could cause like heart disease. It could cause different things in the future. I've heard that it's like sometimes made men fertile. Like we don't know yet what's to come. So why risk it? Be safe. Like I'll keep everybody updated on what goes on with me so as maybe to have an insight as to somebody who's going through it and what's happening, So I just wanted to say, like, please be safe. I know this is a difficult time for everybody, but just know that the teachers are working hard, even if it's online. We are going to find a way to do it because we care about the kids.
Amen.
We care about the kids and we care about the district, and your kids will still learn. They may learn a little differently, but they will learn still, So I just wanted to say that before I head off.
Erika, we love you. We care about you. We're worried about you. I know that you're in good hands because I know my Lobo. I know my Lopez Lobos. I I know you're in good hands, but whatever you need from us, please don't hesitate to let us know. Dr. Saavedra is waiting for you as well. Dr. Saavedra is amazing, and we love her insight. We love her passion and her dedication to the community. And I know you will do well. AOBE will be reaching out as well so that you will be able to speak as one of their speakers on Monday. Erika, God bless. Take care, and come back and visit with us.
Always. Thank you.
It's always great to have Erika. And again, it's important, to have individuals on here that are, struggling with COVID-19. It's not something that's happening over there. It's something that's happening in our backyard, right here with us. And look, guys, and I had a conversation today with one of the individuals who is my detractors, or maybe used to be one of my detractors. I had a conversation with the individual. Look, guys, you could hate Erasmo Castro because he takes pictures, he takes selfies. That's fine. You could hate Erasmo because you think Erasmo Castro is a narcissist. That's fine. You could even hate Erasmo Castro because you think he's a pig. That's fine too. But I want you to hate them more. I want you to hate them more. I want you to hate those individuals that have disrespected, disregarded human life, human health, human wealth. And, think about it, guys. You've got an organization out here that is the largest provider of employment south of San Antonio. You don't have an ounce of care from its chief operating officer up there at the top in regards to one of our amazing teachers and assets out there. Really. And I'm sorry, man. For me, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that no board member, not one board member, could have sent a note, could have sent a text, could have made a phone call. Superintendent, he's got 2 deputy superintendents. I mean, it's not like they were busy, elaborating a plan. They have no plan. A little note, man, could have gone a long, long way. It could have got and earned an ounce of respect from the community, from my Lopez family, from myself, from everyone out here. Like, well, at least they did something. They have done nothing but continue to burden my teachers, my counselors, my diagnosticians, my staff with worry, anxiety, and heartbreak because our staff is still falling ill. Our staff is still dying. They don't care. Frankie, last words.
First and foremost, I want to say safe travels to my friend Ruli. He's going to Houston for some campaign material. So Ruli, be safe. I need you, my friend. November 4th, buddy. I need you. It's very important, for us to hear from teachers, especially like Erika. We have amazing talent at BISD, and one of those programs is the Mariachi band. And before I forget, they wanted me to bring up that BISD has two recipients of the Blue Ribbon Award. So that's something also to be proud of. And Erasmo, there's so much going on at BISD. Unfortunately, there was a hiccup of this COVID-19, but there's so much talent, not just athletics, but in extracurricular activities. The virus is real. Unfortunately, it has hit close to home. Erasmo we've been previously mentioning how every day on the news feed on our face, it's always prayers. I lost a loved one, or please pray for my friend, obituaries. It's a common thing. And we have leadership who is out of tune with what is going on. I understand they have families, but they took on this role to be in this leadership position. The most human thing you could do is say, I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do for you? What's wrong? By a subordinate hearing from a superior. And I'm not saying that they're superior, but somebody in that level, for them to say, oh, they're acknowledging me, goes a long way. a simple note, a simple phone call. Is there anything that we could do? And shouts out to the principal at Lopez who is always watching for her staff. So that's very important. I wish Erika well. It's very important for us to be made aware of what our teachers are dealing with, because we have an administration, we have leadership who is very adamant and time again have been saying the teachers will come back to school eventually. Whenever it's scientifically, okay, we'll bring them back. There's that language there that they use, but we all know that, by them taking pictures at Erasmo in front of 2 truckloads of PPE, they're not saving lives. It's all a photo op. Elections are coming. They do not know what to do. They're trying to do anything possible to say we're doing something, but they're not doing nothing. They are putting our teachers, our staff at risk. What is it going to take? 1 life to me is too much. I believe at Erasmo we're already on 4, and that shouldn't have happened. Again, teachers are going through something very difficult. Leadership has not given them a plan. If elected, I will be decisive. I will give guidance to our district. We don't have all the answers, but we're going to figure it out. It's unfortunate that this leadership, that this board has not taken that decisive decision to give our community, to give our teachers that guidance, that support system that we desperately need. And I promise you, come election day, once we get into office, everything's going to change. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. It's been a good Friday evening so far.
Stock up on strawberry milk. Here's someone that knows very, very well that the first place that I ever visited when I visited a campus was the cafeteria, because I love me some strawberry milk. Let me tell you. And I'm very proud that because of my insistence, we brought back strawberry milk to our campuses. Yes, I'm very, very proud. So anybody that wants to go out there and ask me, you didn't do anything when you were on the board, you're wrong. I brought back strawberry milk. They do not care. They don't care. Guys, el huracán ahí viene. Yes, Vicente, I got yard signs. If you could stop by my office, 1240 Madison tomorrow. I'll be here from 9 to like 1 or 2, maybe 3. Also, if send me an inbox and just to remind me, and I'll send you a reminder tomorrow. Guys, I only got 30 more signs to go, and then that's it. I'm not going to put up a lot of signs, as I think most of Brownsville knows who Erasmo Castro is, and they probably know that I'm always running for something anyway. So I'm going to hope that you remind them, let them know. Let me tell you, I'm wearing my kilt right now, and let me tell you, it is awesome. Awesome kilt. It's very free, and I am anxious to be able to be wearing it back and forth throughout the community as soon as it comes. So, yes, I have a sign for you, Dr. Saavedra. You let me know. I love my kilt. It is awesome, and I feel free
as a bird.
Freedom. It's awesome, man. Let me tell you, I just ordered another kilt. So you're gonna start seeing some Erasmo legs all around Brownsville. Guys, stay safe out there. Remember that tropical storm is coming into our area, so it's going to be a rough and tumble couple of days out here. Please be safe. And again, one thing that we did mention: are you wearing your kilt in the traditional way? You won't know. I actually got underwear on. David, you're trying to get me in trouble. David knows everything. This guy, no, I'm serious. This guy is smart. This guy is brilliant, man. Brilliant. He caught me one time. Los guapos también lloramos, ¿verdad que sí, Alan? Oye, guys, please, if you have known someone out there that it has tested positive for COVID-19 and they're in their home, like Erika by herself out there, please, guys, please go out there and take some food products. Go take some medicine for them. Be helpful to each other. That's the type of folks that we are. Claudia, I have it in my office. That's the type of folks that we are. That's the type of people that we will always be. Guys, I love you all. I love most of y'all. Please, please be good to each other. Please, and please be good to me. God bless.